Coaching, as you know, is partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. To be able to maximize their potential, they should be seeing what it is when they maximize the potential. What stops them from maximizing the potential? What are their patterns? What are their beliefs, values, where they are at? They need to hear themselves. They need to see how they block themselves and what enables them to be more themselves. And we, coaches, actively listen so that they can hear themselves talking and they find this core awareness of where they want to go and where they are at and what is the process. As coaches, we focus on what the client is saying and is not saying so that we understand what is being communicated in the context of client systems, and we also support clients' self-expression. In the coaching process, we support our clients' awareness is the next competency. We ask questions, we share observations. All is based on, first of all, the previous competency, our presence, and the second is our listening. We actively listen our clients. It's not only that we hear words and we make decoding what this word means, but we enhance what we hear with the context of the client's systems, their experiences, their values, their beliefs, their identity, so that we enhance our understanding of what is being communicated. Imagine that we have a client that is coming from a culture where it's not accepted to say no, or it's not accepted to speak up when there is a person with a higher perceived level is there. And in this context, when we hear our coaches speaking, that they are saying they didn't do that, or they omit that they spoke up, we know that they are in this system. So we are hearing, but we are also enriching what we are hearing so that we understand what is being communicated. Second demonstration of this competency is we ensure that we understand what we heard is correct. To do that, we reflect and summarize so that we can ensure understanding and clarity. Unfortunately, we do lots of assumptions in our communications. As we are two different people, we and our coaches, what something means to us can be different than the other person. When we ask ourselves what our client is communicating to us, we might add our own meanings. When we reflect what we heard and we summarize, then we ensure that we understand what the client is trying to communicate to us. As the definition of this competency says, what is being communicated in the way the client is saying and is not saying, we coaches make sure that we hear fully, we listen fully. That means that we inquire what is also not being communicated. We recognize, our intuition tells us, or we are observing the behavior and energy, and we feel there's something more. And that's the moment when we recognize and inquire if there is more than what the client is communicating. It's important that we support our client's self-expression. And self-expression doesn't always happen in the form of words. It also happens in the form of energy, in the form of body language, gestures, as I am using. So as coaches, we also listen to energy and the gestures and body movements. Later, to be able to evoke their awareness in the next competency, first we need to be able to recognize it ourselves. What creates a different emotional reaction? What is happening with the curiosity that we have? As coaches, we recognize and acknowledge and inquire the client's emotions, energy shifts, nonverbal cues, or other behaviors. During the coaching conversation, while actively listening, we have an awareness, an observation of our client's words and also our client's behaviors and emotional shifts. As coaches, we integrate the words with the body language and the tone of voice so that we can determine the full meaning of what is being communicated. In the coaching session, we listen to what the client is bringing to the session. The client sets the agenda, so we are hearing them. We are listening to what they say and how they say it and what they are not saying. And we are noticing the trends in clients' behavior and emotions across the sessions to discern themes and patterns that connects to the overall understanding of who our client is, and so that we can give it back to our client. This is the foundation of our next steps as the coach. The next competency, evoking awareness. Active listening creates this basis. It builds on the presence. It creates the input. We as coaches can be mirrors to our coaches so that they take the knowledge about themselves from us and they trust their self-expression more and more so that they can get more input from themselves. We talked about the sixth core coaching competency, active listening. I hope you will now recognize the moments when you were listening to shifting active listening, and you will start listening everyone, not only your clients, actively.